Hello and welcome. I'm Joanne, and this is Relax for a While. I create soothing videos to help you sleep. If you find this video helpful to your well-being, please hit the like button, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. Leaving a comment down below letting me know you enjoyed the video is also appreciated. To support the continuation of this channel, you can also join me on Patreon, and the link is down below in the video description. As always, a very special thank you goes out to all of my sleepy patrons. Your support is what keeps me inspired. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Tonight's bedtime story is a gentle, hypnotic reading of The Frog Prince. There are several versions of this story, and I've chosen to read the version by the Brothers Grimm. I will be reading in a way that will help you ease gently into a restful sound sleep by using my skills as a certified hypnotist. We will start by settling in with a short hypnotic relaxation, followed by the gentle reading of the story that will include some hypnotic words and phrases strategically placed to help induce a sleepy state. And so, my friend, without further ado, take a moment to settle in comfortably into your sleep space in a way that feels restful for your body. And as your body comes to rest, your mind begins to slow down. And as your mind slows down, you will follow the sound of my voice, focusing on the words that I speak, and your imagination will lead you on a wonderful journey as I softly and gently read you to sleep. Take a nice, slow, comfortable breath in. Hold briefly. And as you release the breath, allow the muscles in your body to soften and release, sinking down and letting go completely into the surface beneath you. That's right. Sinking down, further and further down into your bed. And the more you let go, the more your muscles feel loose and limp. And the more your muscles feel loose and limp, the more you let go. That's right. Now, imagine a pleasant feeling of relaxation swirling around the top of your head, moving down and softening your forehead, smoothing away any lines of tension around the eyes and brow, your entire face smooth and relaxed. Your neck and shoulders relax now, and ease down and fall back as this wonderful feeling of relaxation flows all the way down the arms and hands, all the way down into your fingers. And as this feeling of relaxation flows down, all the way down, your chest and your belly soften, and your back melts down into the surface that supports you, just like butter, softening and melting all the way down. Soothing relaxation flows down your thighs, down your knees, down your ankles, all the way down, down into your feet and into your toes. That's right. Your whole body, from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes, feel loose and limp, and you feel relaxed and at ease. And as you continue to relax, I will count down from 10 all the way down to 0. And at the count of 0, you will find yourself in the place where our story begins. That's right. A beautiful, magical forest. And your incredible imagination will create the imagery of this enchanting forest that's perfect just for you. And you'll be able to step right into the story as if you are really there, feeling peaceful and at ease while watching the story from a distance, surrounded by tall trees with green leaves fluttering all around you. A soft, gentle breeze gliding over your skin. Hearing birds singing high up in the treetops as the leaves form a green canopy above you, with rays of sunlight dappling through the branches. And so for now, my friend, I will begin to count down from 10 all the way down to 0. And at the count of 0, I will begin softly reading for you the story of the Frog Prince. 10, 9, 8, down to 7, down to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. One fine day, a young princess put on her bonnet and went out to take a walk by herself in a magical forest located a short distance from the palace. And when she came to a cool spring of water that rose in the midst of it, she sat herself down to rest a while. She had a golden ball in her hand, which was her favorite plaything, and she was always tossing it up into the air and catching it again as it fell. After a time, she threw it up so high that she missed catching it as it fell, and the ball bounded away and rolled down, down, all the way down, until at last it fell down into the spring. The princess looked into the spring after her ball, but it was very deep, so deep that she could not see the bottom of it. Then she began to cry for her loss and said, "If I could only get my ball again, I would give all my fine clothes and jewels and everything that I have in the world." In the meanwhile, a frog put its head out of the water and said, "Princess, why do you weep so bitterly?" "Alas," said the princess, "my golden ball has fallen down, all the way down into the spring." The frog said, "I do not want your pearls and jewels and fine clothes, but if you will love me and let me live with you and eat from your golden plate and sleep upon your bed, I will bring you your ball again." What nonsense, thought the princess. This silly frog is talking. He is small and will never be able to get out of the spring to visit me at the palace. On the other hand, he may be able to get my ball for me, and so I will agree with what he asks. So she said to the frog, "Well, if you will bring me my ball, I will do as you ask." Then the frog put his head down and dived deep down, all the way down, under the water. And after a little while he came up again with the ball in his mouth and threw it on the edge of the spring. As soon as the young princess saw her ball, she ran to pick it up. She was so overjoyed to have it in her hand again that she forgot about the frog and her promise and ran home with the ball as fast as she could. The frog called after her, "Princess, princess, stop. You must take me with you as you said." But the princess did not stop and continued running as fast as she could back to the palace. The next day, just as the princess had sat down to dinner, she heard a strange noise. Splish splash, splish splash, as if something wet was coming up the marble staircase. Soon afterwards, there was a gentle knock at the door, and a little voice cried out and said, "Open the door, my princess dear. Open the door to your true love here, and remember the words that you and I said by the spring in the forest before you fled." Then the princess ran to the door and opened it, and there she saw the frog, whom she had quite forgotten. At this sight, she was sadly frightened, and shutting the door as fast as she could, came back to her seat. The king, her father, seeing that something had frightened her, asked her what was the matter. "There is a disgusting frog," said she, "at the door that retrieved my ball for me out of the spring yesterday. I had agreed that he could live here with me, thinking that he would never be able to get out of the spring. But there he is at the door, and he wants to come in." While she was speaking, the frog knocked again at the door and said, "Open the door, my princess dear. Open the door to your true love here, and remember the words that you and I said by the spring in the forest before you fled." Then the king said to the young princess, "Because you made a promise, you must keep it, so go and let him in." Reluctantly, the princess did as she was told, and the frog hopped from the bottom of the room all the way to the top until he came up close to the table where the princess sat. "Please lift me upon the chair," he said to the princess, "and let me sit next to you." As soon as she had done this, the frog said, "Put your plate closer to me so that I may eat out of it." Then she did, and when he had eaten as much as he could, he said, "Now I am very, very tired. Carry me upstairs and put me in your bed." And the princess, though very unwillingly, took him up in her hand and put him upon the soft pillow of her bed, where he would sleep peacefully all night long. As soon as it was light, he jumped up, hopped downstairs, and went out of the house. "Now there," thought the princess, At last he is gone and will not bother me any more. But she was mistaken, for when night came again, she heard the same tapping at the door, and the frog came once more and said, "Open the door, my princess dear. Open the door to your true love here, and remember the words that you and I said by the spring in the forest before you fled." And when the princess opened the door, the frog jumped in, and he ate, and then he slept upon her soft, cozy pillow, just like the night before, until morning. And the third night he did the same. But when the princess awoke on the following morning, she was pleasantly surprised to see, instead of the frog, a handsome prince. He stood tall while gazing on her with the most beautiful eyes she'd ever seen. He told her that he had been enchanted by a spiteful fairy who had changed him into a frog, and until a princess should take him out of the spring and let him eat from her plate and sleep on her bed for 3 nights, a frog he would remain. "You," said the prince, "have broken this cruel charm, and now my only wish is that you come with me to my father's kingdom, where I will marry you and love you as long as you live." The young princess, you may be sure, said yes and accepted his proposal. And as they spoke, a coach drove up with 8 beautiful horses decked with plumes of feathers and a golden harness. Behind the coach rode the prince's faithful servant Henry, who had lamented for so long and so bitterly the misfortune of his master, whom he loved dearly, that his heart was now bursting with joy on his return. Then they said goodbye to the king and got into the coach with 8 horses. And as they set out, you watch from a distance the prince and princess slowly riding off in the distance, full of joy and merriment for the princess's kingdom, where they live happily for many, many years. And as you lie back against the trunk of a tree, sitting ever so comfortably on a patch of lush, soft moss, you look up at the green canopy of leaves above you, seeing the light dapple through the leaves as they sway back and forth in the breeze, fluttering and rustling as the leaf slowly detaches itself from a branch, fluttering down as it twists and twirls in the air. And as the leaf drifts down, it also takes you down, down, all the way down into a sound and restful sleep as you watch the leaf glide down. And from now on, when you're lying comfortably in your bed at night, your subconscious mind will know that this is the signal it needs to know that it's time to go to sleep. This is the sign your mind is waiting for, to let it know that it's time to drift away somewhere else, that it's time to drift somewhere that it can rest. And from now on, your subconscious mind knows now that lying comfortably in your bed at night is the signal it needs to take over and to allow you a sound and restful sleep. All you have to do at night when you crawl into bed is imagine a beautiful forest, this relaxing place in nature where nothing else is needed from you. Nobody wants anything. Nobody needs anything. Just allow yourself to rest, letting your subconscious mind take over, taking you down to sleep. So see that leaf again now, twisting and twirling in the breeze, back and forth, floating down gently, taking you down into a deep, restful sleep. And as I count down from 5 all the way down to 0, at the count of 0, the leaf will land softly on the ground, helping you land softly too, into a sound and restful sleep. 5, drifting down to 4, drifting down to 3, down to 2, down to 1, and all the way down to 0. Sleep, sleep, and sleep.